Say goodbye to your wallet and hello to digital ID. IC, driving license, medical records, all in your phone. Imagine applying for a new passport 100% online. No more going to immigration to verify your thumbprint. Or how about registering your child's MyKit right after they are born at the hospital itself without going to JPF? And when you need a bank loan, cut out all the unnecessary physical forms and apply to all banks with just one click.
Another place that India leads, but there's a lot more that all of you can be involved in driving forward, is this digital public infrastructure. No country is more able to take government benefits and get them out efficiently and effectively to their citizens than India. You would have expected rich countries or others to do that, but in fact, they did not. And so that basic structure that starts with identity and bank accounts and payments is just foundational. And
a digital ID system could be operating between governments and the private sector as soon as next year. The aim is to reduce the need for us all to share vast amounts of personal data with multiple organisations.
We've all seen what happens when companies that hold our personal information get hacked, and it's not just customers who worry.
Small businesses have a high concern about cyber risks. They don't want to hold more personal information than they need to.
Some organisations are doing away with this method and going digital.
Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. To USA Shalom. Psalms 58:2. Yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. That's exactly how Esau moves, man. He was given the blessing of the sword, and that's exactly how he moves. At the moment, he's trying to condemn Jake and blame Jake for all the wickedness that he do in the world. If you look through the media, that's all they really talk about is how so-called blacks, Spanish, and Native Americans are pretty much running amok. That's what they say. That's how they portray us. And that's how they portray Jake. And that's all in efforts to bring forth their digital system. All around the globe, they're implementing this biometrics, and it's implemented right now in forms of healthcare. They're starting to mention this is a security risk, and you need to bring forth a biometrics where everybody is in a particular database. So right now, I was reading the article in India about India and how they've had their biometrics in place since 2009, but it's getting more, I would say, in tune. They're implementing it on a larger scale. They have over 1 billion people in their database. Last year, in so-called Middle East, which is Western Asia, Kuwait implemented it, where they gave their citizens a certain amount of time to get their biometrics in place into the database before they were X'd out of their financials. They couldn't enter their bank accounts. So you have this thing is being pushed, and it's going to be something that's going to happen where they push this agenda even further, where they're going to start C-hipping people. They're going to start putting little devices in people. And the scriptures speak on that, and it condemns that. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? this all plays a part in how Jake is perceived. You go through the court systems, you go through their judicial system, and the judges put and the judges, have a blind eye to things, and they throw Jake under the bus. That's the wickedness of Esau, Edom. He's trying to get his blessing back. He won his blessing back, but he can't get it back. It's already written. The story is written that you're not going to get it. It was given to Jacob. You can't have it. It was already ordained that you was going to be the wicked. You are the devil that the Bible speak of. Esau is the devil that the Bible speak of. So now he done ran up in Chicago and basically just ran up in people's homes, dragged them out of their homes in the night, all under the guise of immigration. So they sent ICE into Chicago and basically just, subdued the people, or starting to subdue the people. He's coming to a major city near you. And Jake is about to feel it. And what's next is really pushing forth that MOTB system, that beast system. They're really pushing that. And we're actually watching it play out. Second Thessalonians 2, I'm going to read 9 and 10 in the NLT. This man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles. He will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction, because they refuse to love and accept the truth that would save them. Our people has been warned. The apostles, the bishops, the elders, the Akim, they've been out here for decades warning the people. But all you get is scoffing and scorning, mockery. They still believe in their plantation Christianity, calling upon a pagan god, worshiping the image that they gave them, the image and name that Esau gave them. And it's like, they're sheeple. They're being led to the slaughter. And they believe in Esau's system. And when he comes down with that great wrath, and he makes you take that device in your hand and in your forehead, most won't resist. You're going to have Jake that's going to be taken down just in regular causes, like, the military running up into their neighborhood and knocking them down. And those that don't get knocked down, you're gonna be placed in them little boot camps. You're gonna be placed in them little camps. That's where you're gonna be placed at. And it's gonna be forced upon you. You're gonna be sea-hipped forcefully if you're not willingly taking it. And those are like people believe in. They believe in this society. They believe in the things that the privileges and the little things that they get out of here, out of this society. They take pride in it. They take joy in it. They They run to their doctors on a regular basis. They believe in their technology. Their whole thing is to merge man with machine. To quote unquote improve you, make you better, make you a better human. But it's all a guise. It's all deception. Because they think they're better than the Most High. They think they are the Most High. And that's how these sheeple, that's how they see him. Psalms 2, 1 and 5, 1 through 5, Salakia, in the NLT. Why are the nations so angry? Why do they waste their time with futile plans? The kings of the earth prepare for battle. The rulers plot together against the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua and against his anointed ones. Let us break their chains, they cry, and free ourselves from slavery of power. But the one who rules in heaven laughs. The Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua scoffs at them. In anger, he rebukes them, terrifying them with fierce fury, with his fierce fury. That's Esau. And you could say these other nations. They put themselves above the Most High. Mainly Esau, because he buys, he buys himself. He prides himself on his wicked devices. But that's the Most High. The Most High gave him that ability to do that. That's on the left-hand side. But he takes pride in it. He thinks it's his doing. He thinks it's his will that's doing it. He thinks he's coming up with all these ideas. He thinks that the technology that he came up with is of his own invention, of his own imagination. But the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is furious at them. And in that day, he's going to destroy all their wicked devices. He's going to take down all their weaponry. But he's going to try to destroy Jake before that. Esau is going to try to destroy Jacob before he does that, by planting that sea hip in everyone. And we're in that time. We're in that time of Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. That's speaking to the elect. The elect is not going to be fooled by Esau's deception. They're not going to fall for the bullshit. And they're not going to allow themselves to get sea hipped. A lot of the men of the Lord are going to be taken out because of their conviction on not taking that sea hip and abiding in the Lord, in the Lord's plan, which is not to take that chip. But many gonna fear that day when it really hits, and he implement that system, and you can't pay for your bills, and you can't pay for your food, and you're put out on the streets. Those people that didn't abide in the Lord, in the Lord Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, is gonna wish that they did on that day. They're going to be crying to their pagan God, and he's not going to answer. They're going to be looking for explanations in It's gonna be terrible on that day. You're gonna have people starving, looking at each other as food. They'll be willing to take another man's life for their last can of peaches. They'll be looking to take a life for a morsel. But you had time. Many of those scoffers and scorners and those people that mocked, they're going to be looking for answers. And the Lord going to turn a blind eye to them. Malachi 4, 1 and 3. For behold, the days cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the pride, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahweh of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. And ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I shall do this, saith Yahweh of hosts. That's what it's going to be like when the Lord cometh, man. After Esau initiates his wicked ass plan on merging man with machine, and in the midst of WW3, when them nukes come falling down, the Lord gonna make his presence known. And those that are still around is going to see his glory. And they're going to taste a missile. They're going to taste that heat. They're going to taste that heat of the radiation from those missiles. Don't take that. Don't take that thing. Don't abide in this system. Eject yourself from this world as much as possible. But everyone here is gluttons and lustful. They take great pride in being gluttons and being lustful. They can't go a few hours without consuming something. And that's going to be the test, man. How long you can go without food or beverage. Even though the Lord's elect will be protected, will be shielded, they're going to go through some things. They might go a few days without eating, without drinking. But that's why you prepare. That's why you fast. That's why you pray to the Lord on a daily basis and repent. So you can have that protective shield. But many gonna fall victim because they refuse to acknowledge the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. They tend not to go a few hours without eating something or doing something that's not of the Lord. They refuse to. They go days without thinking about the Lord. Many don't even think about him at any point. But that's gonna be to your detriment. This place is going down, man. Babylon gonna fall. We're watching Babylon fall. Every moment that we're breathing, we're watching Babylon fall. And since Nero T has been in office, it's been falling rapidly. That's why he's moving so fast, to push these agendas, to get at Jake, to push this digital system. Zechariah 13:8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third be left therein, but the third shall be left therein. 2/3 of Israel is going to perish in that nuclear fire. 2/3 of Israel here in Babylon the Great will perish during Jacob's trouble. You're going to have many dying during Jacob's trouble. You're going to have many that's going to perish from the nuclear fire. 2/3 of Israel must go, and 1/3 shall be saved out of it. That's just how it's going to be. It's written. So all those that chose to do other than abiding in the Lord, that means following the Lord's law, following the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai's Lord's statute and commandments to the best of your ability. Ignoring scripture, ignoring repentance, just going about your normal lives here in Babylon, doing the things that please yourself and not the things that please the Most High. So you can't blame anyone but yourself when you see that missile coming and you can taste that heat and you feel that heat. Romans 9:22. What if power willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? That's what this thing is about. It's about long suffering. Not taking pleasures in the things of Babylon, the land of confusion. Not being a part of this system, or ejecting yourself from this system as much as possible. Being in this truth, you kind of a loner. You kind of out here alone. You out here by yourself. You out here alone because you see the dead eyes. Everybody ignoring the time that we're in, thinking that this place is going to get better, thinking that a Babylon the Great is going to come out of this, quote unquote, make America great again. For Jake, that shit should be an oxymoron, because to make America great again is you going to be at the bottom with Esau's heel on your neck. That's what they mean by make America great again. So when you abide in the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, it's about long suffering, man. It's about enduring. It's about not enjoying the things of this world. Granted, there's gonna be times where you you're gonna be within the world. You know, you within the world. There's gonna be times where you're gonna enjoy yourself, yes, but the goal is not to be of the world. It's not to be in the club. It's not to be just enjoying yourself in Babylon. That's not the purpose. The purpose is long suffering, coming back to the Lord, praising the name, worshiping the name, exalting the name, knowing the name. But many buck up against the truth because it's not what they were taught. You're going to have to relearn everything, and they're not willing to do so. They're afraid of what their parents might think, what their peoples might think. That's not long suffering. That's conforming. That's acceptance of this world. That's acceptance of Esau's wicked ass system. 1 Peter 3:20, which sometimes were disobedient when once the long suffering of power waited in the days of Noah, while the ark was a preparing, wherein few, that is, 8 souls were saved by water. They were doing the same thing in the time of Noah. Yahweh gave Noah instructions to build the ark because he was going to destroy this. He was going to destroy that place because it was wicked as hell. And people scoff and scorn. He prophesied for 120 years, and people just mocked, scoffed, and scorned. It's never going to rain. It don't rain here. It's not going to rain. You crazy. They basically looked at him like he was a nut. But when that day came and the Lord flooded the earth, what did you have? People knocking at the door of the ark trying to get in. It's the same thing. 8 souls were saved then. 1/3 of Israel will be saved in this present time. Psalms 37:7. Rest in Yahweh and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Wait upon Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Be patient. Endure. Take pleasure in the long suffering. Take pleasure in the enduring. Because you know what the outcome is at the end. When them chariots come with them lasers, along with those missiles, if you did the work and did what you were supposed to have been doing, rehearsing the righteous acts, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah said he was coming back to get you. But you could have your pleasure here. You could partake in this world now. You could let Esau subdue you, and you partake in all his delights. But you won't take part in the Lord's delights when he comes back to retrieve his elect remnant. You're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait and be born again in the kingdom. I don't want my pleasure now. I don't want it now. I want to enjoy it with the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. So I hope this was edifying. Call Allah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah Ba'ashem Rakah HaKodash. Peace and salutations to apostles, bishops, and elders, a great millstone, and the hopeful elect. and the Akim that's laboring in his truth. Shalom.